G'day, mates. We're going to continue on with textures in this episode. First of all, though, I want to go over a couple of things. So with Mod Organizer, I wanted to go over creating just separators, just something quick. So right now we've got our files here. Sorry, I only just woke up. I got pretty pissed off last night. Let's just say that. Anyway, you can go through and create a separator, and I go through and just in capital letters write in whatever the subject is, and then I can move it up to that point there. Oop, here we go. And that just allows us to clean up the areas while we're going through and testing things. Yeah. So you put in textures, graphics, game, whatever. It's very simple. There is another way to do it too. So if I just remove this separator, you can go through and just right click whatever mod and just go to all mods and then create a separator above if you want to be specific. It should be textures, doesn't matter. So and yeah, and that's easy. Now the other thing that I like to do too while I'm going through and utilizing Mod Organizer, I like to create a different separator and I like to call it testing. What this does is that every mod that I install is going to install in this bracket. Generally, whenever you install a new mod or whatever, it'll always go into the next priority slot. Yeah? So I put in this separator here called testing because sometimes I do have a habit of going through and getting excited with some of the mods that I see on ModDB, and I really want to test them out. And I'll just grab them, download them, put them in. And I get up to like 20 mods. And then sometimes I have a habit of going, okay, yep, I'll put that over there, do there, not even thinking. And I put them all into their separate areas, and I'll start the game and something goes wrong. Either the fucking start will crash, or you go in there, or an area won't load, or something like that. And I'm thinking, oh, God, no, I've done it again. I've got 20 mods installed, and I don't know which one's causing the fuck up. And worse on that, because I'm getting older, I can't remember what fucking mods I installed. So it's best generally just to have this section here. I keep everything in here that I install. I'm able to see what conflicts are going on with the mods. I can just go through and individually click each one, open up the respective folder, and find out what it's overriding, what's happening, try to perceive what is going on and what it could be overriding, whether it be a texture mod or a UI mod or an animation mod or whatever. And then I can go from there. And then I can go, okay, so something's happening here. It's overriding this mod. I know when I load the game, this mod is working fine. Okay. So obviously this mod here is overriding something key within this mod. And so from there, I'll just, I don't know, let's say I just put this here for now. Put this here. Put it there. There we go. And then I go, okay, so that this is overriding this or whatever. This is a patch. I know that's a patch. And so I'll just make sure I put this afterwards. Or let's say it's not a patch, it's something else. Okay, I'll have to put it here. And it's just handy to have that testing section. Like I said, I'm not saying that I'm the bee's knees. I've never said that I was the bee's knees of modding and everything else. Any other modder out there as a coder or something can just trash all over me right now within the comments or whatever and just say, you know, this, and this. And I probably wouldn't understand what the fuck you were saying, but that's just the way it is. I'm just trying to help out people who are new to it and just at least get you started. So this is how I handle this. Now, there is a mod that we didn't install last time, and I'm in the weapons section. Now, just be aware, this is a re-recorded video. I did record this prior already. However, there is a couple of mods that I installed that ended up causing a problem with the monolith load. So Pripyat wouldn't load, and neither would Red Forest. And I figured out which mod it was. I will mention it later on in case any modders are watching this, or maybe the modder himself or herself is watching this video, and then I can at least say something. I should. So I'm not a social person. I should be writing in the comments in there and just saying this, that. But, you know, like I said, I'm not a bee's knees. People are just going to... I'm sure people don't like me. I've tried to interact with modders and stuff, and I just get ignored. So I'm pretty sure I'm not well liked in any sense. So Anyway, what was I doing before I went off on that slight tangent? Utility. We want to install mod configuration menu. I didn't do that last time. It's pretty important that we do install it. We know this is going to work all the time. Now, there's several things you can do with Anomaly mod configuration menu. You could put it, well, in most cases, some mod packs that I've seen, they put them in certain locations. I myself like to put this at the very top, right? Because you never know when you're going to come across a mod that's going to have some kind of conflict with mod configuration menu. And usually it's not a bad thing. It just means that it's overriding something so that this actually works. So I generally like to have this as the top priority myself. That way, anything and everything that I install, and I don't have to worry about it later or where to position it or whatever, I know that everything that I install is going to override and work properly with the MCM. That's how I handle the MCM. I generally don't put a name there. There's no need to, but I mean, you could if you wanted to put in a separator so you can keep it clean. And then I just write in MCM there. And then I can close that off. And just makes room, it makes it neat and stuff like that. And when you're going through, like I said, with bug testing, this will actually highlight when something's going wrong. And we will get into that as we go along. Now, like I said, this is a re-recording of what I had done before. So I have already tested a lot of these mods out. Project Sunrise is the mod that I wanted to have a look at. I think I've already got that on my webpage. So we've already darkened the models. Now, I have noticed that when I went through and tested quite extensively, that's why I've had to re-record. This mod here also darkens the mutants and the creatures. I think it's unique. It is a little weird and off-putting when you have a look at it. And we will load up some of the creatures when we get into the game. I don't think I did that last video. But I got to say, it's different and unique. So I think I'm going to roll with it. However, because of the darkness and everything else, I kind of want to make the world a little brighter itself. And that's where Project Sunrise comes in. It's a new mod. There was another mod here that I wanted to test out as well. Oh no, here we go. Terrain textures redone. I did want to have a look at this as well. And, you know, I figured I might as well. The only problem is that with this mod, you have to have, I think it is a hard requirement. Yes, hard requirement screen space shaders. And like I said, right now, I don't want to use screen space shaders because for me, it'll take a lot longer to load. And you see how I have to load the game, test things out, close the game, load the game. It takes a lot of time when you've got to use an extra minute of waiting for load time. And it just adds up. So for you, because you're watching the video and you don't have to do the testing, you might want to decide to use this mod. And have a look at the pictures. Sorry. It looks all right, I got to say. It looks very depressing. That's that's the only issue that I have with it is that I've already got models that look pretty dark and pretty cool. They still got a brightness to them, but I don't want another world that's just going to add to that effect. I kind of want a Stalker 2 vibe, where it's a little bit of a brighter world. And Stalker 2 is, in most cases, in a lot of areas, a much brighter world. So this is an interesting one. If you wanted to go through and have a look at it and install screen space shaders yourself, I've covered it so many times already, you should know exactly what you're doing with it. I want to install Project Sunrise. It is big. Most of these textures are big. That's why we're going over it first. That's generally why I like to go over them first, because those files are generally going to be fucking huge. Now, with texture mods and stuff like that, depending on what you want to do, there's two ways to go through and install it. You can install it as normal if you wanted to. Oh, there it is. Yeah, I should really wear my glasses. Hang on, I'm going to put my fucking glasses on. It's got that blue film on it too, or whatever the fuck it is, to help from my eyes from not getting so bloody sore. Now, it is a foam mod. I like to go through and just make sure I've got the update number on there. And this really, really looks good. Now, I wanted to go for just the Seacon Summer Flora because I do want that bright. I don't like the yellow. I don't really like yellow in the game. I have used it, but generally I just get turned off from using it for some reason. I just don't really like it too much. I'm going to go with that as well, the Seacon Grass Overhaul and stuff, because I like the the world when it's got all the flowers and shit around there. We do have the sunrise weather system, which is really cool. It's going to be interesting when we install Triple S shader mod and maybe the other mod. I can't remember. You know, Triple S shader and the other mod are pretty much, you know, tied together like fucking bros. I can't remember the other mod's name. I tried installing it recently and I was having issues with it because it didn't come with the standard files for you to load up properly for some reason. And it does have screen space shader settings. It does have this main menu, which I really like. We'll leave it there for now. And we do have screen space shader settings for when we install it. So we just got to remember to install that later on. Okay, incorrect FOMod in installer. Right. I had actually forgotten about this and I only fucking recorded last night. So, yeah, so there is an issue with the FOMod. Right, that's cool. That's fine. We can go through and install this a different way, and I prefer to do that because then it allows me to add things in, take things out, and test things a little bit better. So let me start here again. I'm inside of my Stalker install folder, and you should have your Motor folder here where you install all of your mods. And here are all of the mods here. We don't need that. Get rid of that. And then through here, we go to textures, and we got Project Sunrise here, right? And so we just grab, oh, hang on, let me just check that again. No, it is. There's no other separate folder. Okay. So I just right click, bring it up here, and extract here. And this will extract all of the necessary files. We don't need the foam mod. Get rid of that. And we should be good. Right. Now we just go into Mod Organizer and click refresh, and all of our mods for Project Sunrise will appear here. Now, I like to do this myself because when I'm testing a mod, I like to have a look at everything, and I don't want to just go through, go up here, right-click, and go reinstall mod, and then change it, and then do all of that sort of shit. It's annoying. When I can just go through here and go, okay, we got 0001 A and B, 02A through to C3, and usually the modders will actually separate all of their mods because they know that, obviously, and they probably do it themselves, they install everything like this, and it just allows you to go through and test everything. So, Project Sunrise, we went with Seacon Summer Flora. I wanted to go with Seacon Grass Overhaul. We got the Sunrise Weather System in there, and we've got the MCM menu, right? And like here, if I click there, you can see we've got a conflict, but it's only because it's overriding the menu so that it works properly. See, generally, with Anomaly, all of your settings and new game and everything else is in the center. This will move everything over to the left, and I generally think that's probably what it's doing. Probably changing the font as well, and all other sort of jazz. So we've got that going now. Now we also, because this is only just the grass, the trees, and more than likely the ground and stuff, we're going to need another mod for the buildings as well. And I had already found a mod that I actually don't mind at all. It is a work in progress mod though. So just be aware of that not everything is going to be done. But that's what I like about grabbing some of these newer mods. I like to keep an eye on them and see where they go to and keep an eye on their updates and what they're doing. What am I doing? There. Right, and this is Diolators-Texture-Rework. And this actually looks really good. So generally the premise of this mod is that it's grabbed all of the textures that already exist, does them up to a much higher degree, and then and obviously, it puts it back. And it looks a lot better. And I've got to say, when I got into the game from, you know me, I like to have the world generally untouched and just touched up here and there. This actually looks like a updated version of what was previously there. It really does look like that. And it's really impressive mod. And you know this is an impressive mod because everyone's using this particular mod lately, including Gamma and everything else, all the high-level mods. You see these? These are all of your devices. right? And this should be a pretty much dead giveaway. So this is the creator of, where are you? Yeah, here. Check out my previous work made in collaboration with animator Barry Boggs, Devices of Anomaly Redone. This is the creator. So you know that this mod is going to be a fucking good mod, because this is a really impressive Devices mod in general. I mean, I myself like to use the Gunslinger because just for specific reasons. But yeah, I really do like this mod as well. It's very clean, very good. So we know that eventually this is going to be a very, very good texture mod. So this is the one we're going to use, is Diolators. So we'll go through and find it. There we go. It's a simple installation. I don't know what, you know what, I'm just going to click this so that this just permanently fucks off, because every time you hit the X, it seems to want to reload. Yep, version 0.13, and activate, and we're pretty much done. Now, like I said to you before, I had to restart this recording for a very specific reason, and that reason is this. So, for a little bit of context, when you're installing texture mods and stuff like that, it's easy for everyone, as you've seen with me, just to load up Cordon. And I just load up Cordon over and over again, go in there, test what I got to do, go back out, test what I got to do. The problem is that sometimes I do that, and I know in my head that I shouldn't be. I should be loading up other areas and testing them out. Now, with this particular mod, for some reason, I'm not too sure which one of these is causing the issue, because these mods separately, if you install them from their other thing, don't have an actual problem. I think it's because of this repack of it. Maybe all of them, or something's happened within the code where you can't load up Pripyat. And you can't load up, I'm pretty sure it was Red Forest. I tried to load in there. It was really late last night when I finished testing, so I'm still, I don't know why I'm so hazy right now. Something's fucking off. And I'm probably going to be sick, let's say. And I'm pretty sure it was Red Forest, and it wouldn't load either. It just sat there. So what was happening, it was just, I think I'll put in the recording here, it was just sitting there. And I eventually had to load up my my task manager right here, and it would just, nothing was happening with it at all that I could see. I mean, the CPU was still running, the memory was still running, and everything else, but nothing was happening. It was like a soft crash. And I sat there for a good 5 minutes waiting, and nothing happened. So this mod, I would love to use it, because all of this stuff pretty much covers all of the extra stuff that we need. But we can always go through and install them individually anyway. The other problem that I had with it is, why did they call it Nitpicker? I know I'm being a little bit picky. CC simple mod pack. I like having this stuff on the Google Documents, because then I can go through and just do this. Open link. Because we've got Nitpicker's mod pack. Originally, I thought this was a repack of Nitpickers here, and they just added this stuff in. But it's not. It's just a texture pack. And they called it Nitpicker, whereas we've got Nitpicker's mod pack over here. I know that the spelling is different, but I don't know if these guys actually know that Nitpickers exists. You think they would, because Gamma uses Nitpickers. It used to. I don't know if it still does. But anyway, I just thought I'd bring that up. I originally thought when I got this that I was going to get the original Nitpickers mods, which is generally all utility mods. You know, character name save, crashes to riches, fast transfer, Geiger hush. Just simple things that you can add in that really make quite a difference, like stats to display, and it's all DLTX. So that's really good. And this thing here is skinning with spacebar, in case you don't want to use the skinning mod directly itself. For whatever reason, you know, there could be a reason why. Yeah, so I don't know why they called it Nitpicker, unless Hades at DK is Ishmael. I don't know. It's got me a little confused, honestly. But yeah, that mod was causing some issues. Anyway, let's go inside and go and have a look at the mod for now and go and see what's going on with it. I'll go and have a look. Oh, there's one thing we had to do first. It did say on the page, let me just stress this. Sometimes you really have to read this and just make sure you follow their instructions. It says here, after you've installed everything and done all of your stuff that you have to do with the mod, go through and remove the shader cache folder in the app data after installation. Go into app data here. We can see our shaders cache here. So let's delete that. Right, it's been deleted. And let's just run. It should recreate it. Yeah, it's not there. Start the game, it'll recreate it. I'm guessing probably because, you may have some other sort of shaders in there or whatever, and it just wants a clean slate, and a completely clean slate, because even if you do clear the shader cache, it doesn't clear everything properly. It just clears the necessary files, let's say. Here, you're basically doing a hard reset. Monolith. It's looking pretty sweet. The roads are done. This is the weather system. It's running like that Arrivals-Anomalies mod. It's got a weather system in there, seeds and flora. But this is slightly different by the looks. It does have moving fog. It does have like some of the things the Triple S shader mod puts in, like the fog mod and everything else. That's probably why you need to activate these. Let's get away from him. Looks pretty good. I'm hoping that these ones are updated as well. It's been a little while since I've been in Pripyat. But I mean, it looks like it. You see the little bits of fog flying around. The better test is to go into Cordon, as per usual. But you see there that we've loaded up Pripyat quite alright. Let's go incognito. You can see just by the brickwork and stuff.
Слушаю тебя.
It looks really cool. I like this overall look. It's a little bit brighter, and I think this matches the models pretty well. So let's load in a couple of those creatures just so we could see what I was talking about. No, it didn't want to load that time. Okay. Board general. Oh, okay, I must have hit the wrong thing. Yeah, mutants. There we go. That's what I did wrong. No, not bloodsuckers. Let's load a boar. See how they're darker? With that redone. It looks really cool. I like it. It really matches everything. That's not a cat. Yeah. Okay. I can understand why you crashed, because that wasn't a cat. What the fuck? Let's load back into the game, because that clearly should not have happened. There must be something residual within that repack GFY. Maybe we need to repack creatures. That'll happen when you're in debug mode and you're forcing things to load, but when the game is operating normally, those things shouldn't load at all. I'm not going to say that it won't. Sometimes it could. But that's why you go through and do all of this testing as you're going through. Just to have a look. So that was weird that it loaded up those as cats. So there's a cat now. Proper cat. It looks really cool. I do like the overall look of all the creatures. They're a lot different because of this mod. And I think it really works well. Yeah, I'm quite happy with the way that everything looks. Now, the other thing that we probably should look at updating is the vehicles. So this is what the vehicle looks like normally. Where's the... There we are. There's that one. Oh, look. It's a flash. Nice. I do like it. It's really good. Oh no, I'm right here. All right. So, I enjoy it. I have so much fun doing this. Right, so let's go through and install this. So it's a Vehicles Redux. There is another mod that was on the page as well, but I've kind of forgotten what it was, or where it was. I will look for it later on. Someone else was also attempting the retexture of vehicles as well, but they only did a certain vehicle, which was a bit of a shame. I kind of hoped they expand on what they were doing and cover all of the vehicles, because the vehicle itself, when I tested it, looked really good. It was pretty well done what they did. I think they retextured the APC, or the Ukrainian or / Russian APC. I'm not too sure whichever one. But this is a good mod to add in because it'll upscale all of those vehicles. Just to add to the the visual pleasure when you're playing the game. It should all meld in pretty well. So this will be the mod that we'll next install. It's a simple mod. We don't need to do anything special with it. Vehicles Textures Redux. Same thing, show you here. You can just untag these so you're not overbloating your mod folder with all of these other things when you're installing. Activate that. Now, the other thing that I was thinking about doing too was adding in anomalies. Now, anomalies for me, they do add into the prettiness of the game, but there was a unique sort of mod that I had actually forgotten about. So we've got the Redone-Dynamic-Anomalies here. Now what this does is it goes through and disables all vanilla anomalies. All static anomalies remain, and this add-on is best used in conjunction with other anomalies. Add-ons such as Arrivals of DAO. Among others, adding new dynamic anomalies to the world map will be later in later updates. I don't know why I can't expand that. It should be a list description there. Let me just refresh the page. There we go. It didn't load properly. New game, blah, blah, blah. Got Arrivals, Dynamic Anomalies, corrected Dynamic Anomaly file. I'm not too sure if they're still working on this overall, but it seems to me that it's working fine. Well, at least to me it does. Yeah, because when you add on those anomaly mods, all of the original ones still remain, and it sort of makes it a bit of a... It can make some areas a clusterfuck, because you'll have so many anomalies here and there and everywhere, and including the original ones, and it just makes a bit of a mess sometimes. So this, I think, helps to try and alleviate it, but it is still a work in progress, so it's not going to be perfect. I think when I first utilized this many moons ago now, what was happening was it did remove the anomalies, but they weren't removed properly. They were invisible. And so when you went through and walking through where you knew that some of the static or whatever anomalies were, you'd still die, but you couldn't see anything. And some areas you couldn't even hear anything. So yeah, I'm hoping that this has been updated a little bit better than what it was. The one that I wanted to use was Arrivals, because I think that Arrivals is the better of the two. But mostly because this is a little bit more realistic to the world that I'm creating or want to create. I don't even know exactly what the world is going to be, but myself personally, I like Arrivals. It just seems like it has more believable anomalies, whereas sometimes Dynamic Anomalies, but obviously I've been using it for years. It's been around for years now. So used to seeing it, but and sometimes the anomalies can seem a little bit cartoony, I think you could say. Whereas this one, Arrivals, is a little bit more grounded. Now, there is a problem with Arrivals, and I will demonstrate that when we get in there as well. I will leave both mods there. We can just load that up as well, because it's down to your choice. I'm not going to sit here and force it on you exactly what you want to do, because you can go either way and safely with this installation. It doesn't really matter. If you prefer dynamic anomalies, then use that. And like I said, it's been around for a lot longer, and it's been updated pretty fucking extensively, to the point of like near perfection. So, but I'll give it one thing: the anomalies are fun, and some of the ideas, enhanced behavior of the old anomalies. So it does do a lot of work as well as working on the older ones. So dynamic anomalies, work in progress. We do have things here for gravity anomalies. Apparently there's something wrong with the gravity. So when you're putting this in, it's actually making the gravity anomalies a lot more deadlier when you're going in. So we might go through and install this differently. Now we have tested this already, so we don't need to worry about this. Let's move that up into the textures folder, because that's already good. We already know that's working. And we'll go through and manually install. So Redone Dynamic, it's got separate folders, good. So we can just go through and do that. Extract here. Should be done. Refresh. Yep, cool. So we'll put that there. Replace vanilla dynamic anomalies to radioactive field only. All right. So yeah, some anomalies are within radioactive fields that are placed normally. You know what? We won't worry about that at the moment. We'll install Arrival. This is a foam mod. Go through and do that. I like the Black Mesa teleporter, and you can choose whichever one you want. Weak gravitational anomaly, no. I like the aggressive Electras. No, we'll leave that the way it is. I like the acidic smoke and the thermal smoke, but I don't go for more smoke. This can cause issues, especially if you've got a weaker computer. Generators 2, I'm going to go for that since I don't have a weak computer. Average difficulty levels for the thingos. I do like to remove the grain effects. We're not going to go with any of the seeds because we're already running a weather mod that contains that. 4K textures I'm going to go for because I can run it. You may not be able to. This is the one that I really like, is the Call of the Monolith. I'm going to go fully distorted because I think that's really cool. And since I've installed Arrivals before, I have gone up to Geiger 3. So I'm going to go to Geiger 4 this time around and just test that out. It's a slow process. All right, so this one here, yes. So we need to nerf it. So we'll move that file, because this is a patch, over Arrivals so that it nerfs the gravity anomalies. issue. All right, so let's load up the game and have a look at that. Hope that we can get some of those anomalies to load. What would be the best place to see them? I think probably swamps, because swamps is such a large area. You're going to get a lot more of the anomaly fields through the area. Plus, we'll be able to see what the textures look like in there as well. Plus, there's also vehicles in there, so we should be able to have a look at those as well. Yeah, you can definitely tell the textures have been redone on the building here. You tell it instantly. That looks cool. I think it's also done the campfires too. You see the burn mark around there? Looks like the vehicles have been tuned up with that vehicles mod. It looks, I don't know, it does look fairly well blended in, to be honest. You may think differently. To me, it looks pretty good. Damn, it does look really good. I actually really like this. Anomaly fields. Let's go. Oh, look at that. Ah, so you're more of a scallywag. Interesting. I don't exist. Damn, that looks cool. A little bit more of a supernatural vibe. Proper supernatural vibe. Yeah, that's not bad. I like that. That sound for the Geiger. Although it does sound a little bit like, have you ever seen, what was the movie called with the ring bitch in there? That fucking bitch that comes through the TV or whatever. Yeah. It does sound a little bit like that. For all I know, it probably is from that. Now, sometimes when you're in debug mode, sometimes the anomalies won't load. Here we go. That's one of the Arrival's anomalies. Once we get triple S in there, you'll be able to see them a lot better. Where am I? There. Here we are. Favorite spot. There we go. It's removed the anomaly. Damn. I did notice that there were a couple of rats around, and that's going to be a problem with the NPCs, so we're going to have to make sure that we remove the rats. Yeah, there's one over there. Yeah, this will cause nothing but chaos for your NPCs, especially for your companions. So there is a mod that we can remove these rats, so we're going to have to remember to remove them. Otherwise it's going to cause chaos. But I gotta say, the little critter looks pretty cool too. Either that we remove them, or we can remove it from the AI so it doesn't go targeting them. Either way, we can go one way or the other. Right, so that's pretty cool. The other one that we can install as well, so I'll go through and install Dynamic-Anomalies as well, which has been updated, so it's 0.37 since the last time that I installed it. We don't have to worry about any of these, so we'll just do a normal install. It does say DOA version here, but it's not overriding it for some reason. Okay, maybe it's doing it in the background, or this has been updated to accommodate for this. But anyway, regardless, let's go in there and have a look. There are options in the MCM too where you can customize these mods a lot further. You can remove certain anomalies from the game, increase their frequency, decrease their frequency, and stuff like that. I probably should have shown that. So here we go, DAO here, Dynamic Anomalies. Now for me, the thing that I don't like about this, it's already done it probably because of my LTX. I don't like the radar and I don't like the rebounder. The rebounder is just, to me, its sound is just egregious. I hate it. I can't stand it. Its sound is so loud and from such a long fucking distance. I don't like it, so I just normally get rid of it. And I don't like the sound of the radar myself either, or either the look. I think it's a little bit silly, too silly. Other than that, you know, I'm quite happy with all the other ones. So let's go into the game and load up Cordon and have a look at those vehicles too, because we did have a look at them specifically, so we should probably close that out. Summer, or the sun, I should say, clear day. And there's the updated vehicle. Looks a little bit more blended in with the world. No doubt I'll come across other things that I'll probably want to add in later, but for now, this is looking pretty good. Here comes the pseudo scallywags. It's going to be so weird seeing that. This is what I've always wanted to do with Stalker, is completely make it like supernatural, like go way into the supernatural side. A good idea for some modders out there, I guess. Just go completely into the supernatural side of things. Now, like I said, sometimes we're not going to be able to see the fields that we want to see. Go over here. Might be able to see something here. I think the best way to see it is to go over to Darkscape. Oh. Mercenaries. Fellas, how you going? I don't exist. Normally I would have seen some of these anomalies by now. There we go. Pot of gold. I think that's what these are. So the game does load these creatures. Interesting. These are the cats that we loaded before and the game crashed. I just killed one then, and it didn't crash, so maybe they are a part of the mod. Technically, they shouldn't be. It's a little weird that they are. I know they're part of a creatures mod by the Redone crew, so I was assuming that we would have needed to install that specific creatures mod to get them to work properly, but I don't know. Maybe it was an intended little secret by them to probably scare the shit out of you. Who knows? Anyway, we saw the dynamic anomalies in there, and the world itself is looking... I myself, I'm liking the world. It looks great. I think the grass could be a little bit higher. Density could be a little bit more. But we can get to that in a specific video. So, we've added that in. I'm going to go through and create another separator above and call this one game. Because for me, anomalies and stuff is more of a game modifier. So we know that that works. I'm not going to go with dynamic anomalies though. I'm going to go with arrivals. There was the one thing I forgot to show you. Sorry, I will quickly reload into the game and show you that before we end the video. Now the issue that Arrivals has is with the Svarog. So we'll load up the Svarog here. We'll look somewhere. So we can see the flame that's moving there. And we load up. And you see that pause there? Thankfully though, it's not doing it every time. But that may change later on. But there is that slight pause when you first bring out the Svarog. It doesn't happen to any of the other devices. But it always happens to the Svarog. I might try the Veals as well. There's a slight stutter. Very, very slight. Not as bad as the Svarog. But yeah, that's just one of the things that you got to put up with Arrivals, is that when you get the Svarog later on, when you pull it out, there can be that slight pause. It's nowhere near as bad as it was in a prior version of the game, of the mod, I should say. But yeah, I think so far, because of these mods, it's created a pretty unique. Oh God, I'm getting rid of that. No, fuck you. Get out of it. Get out of it. Oh God, that's giving me the shakes just thinking about that. Oh, I'm thinking of Ring Bitch now. Fuck this. Oh, mate. Reinstall. Oh, that was giving me the shakes then. I was thinking straight up Ring Bitch. I'm going to go through and reinstall that. I like aggressive. Black Mesa. Average. Grain effects. None of that. 4K. And let's try 5. We're not doing number 4 ever again. Ever. No. Bad Arrivals. Bad. That was fucking freaky. Anyway, that should be all the textures for now. That's pretty much covered all of the basis. There probably will be more later on, no doubt. I'm going to come across some things here and there that I want to change, like the PDA and stuff, but they're only minor sort of things, and we'll get to those when we get to them. So far we've got a world that looks pretty fucking, to me, it looks pretty fucking cool. It looks pretty good, pretty unique, pretty different with the combination of these mods. So far, I'm liking the look of it. I hope you like the look of it too. Next up, we're going to have a look at MRAA. There is a 3DSS update to MRAA, and that's what really got me pissed off last night. I tried to record a third video, and I always struggle with 3DSS. I mean, I know I did a video with blindsides, and that did take me a little while to get my head around it, and I think I mentioned that in the video. But this one's even more worse. I just can't get my head around it. I'm going to keep trying here, and then I'll probably record an episode. At least I've got something to release during the week. So I'm going to go and edit this now and at least to release it. And now that I've gone through and bug tested everything and tested everything properly, it's taken me a little while to get this video done properly. That's why I recorded yesterday. Because I was pretty confident I was right. And then when I tried to load up Pripyat, it just all fell to fucking bits. So to go and figure all that out. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you next time.